A good friend of mine is going to share with us. A few months ago, it was actually at a board meeting. He shared some things about basically what God had been doing in his life, and he's had more challenges than most of us are going to experience. I just asked DJ to share, and I guess his wife, Lynn, my faithful assistant for all these years, is going to come up with him. And let's give DJ a hand this morning.
Thank you, Pastor Roger. Good morning, Bethel Church. I am thankful for corn as well. I use it on everything. I brought up my wife with me today because this is one of my rocks, my support.
Are you going to make me cry?
No.
Stop it.
No, I'll do that for you. I shared with the board, I'm one of the board members, shared with the board maybe about a month ago or so, maybe a couple months, one of the devotionals, and it turned out really good. But it's not by my help, but it was titled, "My Faith Gives Me Hope, and My Hope Gives Me Peace." And I'm going to say it again because I'll come back to it towards the end. My faith gives me hope, and my hope gives me peace. So if I offered you 4 states of mind, stress, chaos, peace, hope, the assumption is that you'd pick hope and peace. I'm assuming. The definition of stress, or one of the definitions of stress, is how we respond to physical, mental, or emotional pressure. So it's how we respond. By show of hands, how many of us in here are good drivers? I know my wife's hand is up behind me. Yes. Statistically, the DMV says that 99.3% of us break a traffic law every single time we drive. Okay? Not that we're good drivers, but by the letter of the law, we are not. But driving is one of those things that can stress us out very quickly. Now, there is that 0.7% of people out there that don't. Ron and Phyllis Grimes, I do not like being behind you. But I appreciate you being that 0.7%. I told you I was going to pick on you a little bit. So, stress can be right away, but it's how we respond to that stress. We think of stress as maybe a seasonal thing. The holidays are so stressful. Oh my gosh. But in reality, stress doesn't really have a season. Stress can happen in the fall. We're getting ready for school. We're really not ready for it. Summer's coming along. We've got so much to do. It's just going to be a crazy summer. Spring, it doesn't really have a season. There is no good timing for financial pressures. There's no good timing for marital pressures. There's no good timing for the loss of a loved one. All of those things, they really don't care what season it is. Okay? 1 Corinthians 7:23 says, I want you to be free from worry. So God allows us to choose worry, but that is not his desire for us. He wants us to choose hope, peace, and all those things, not the stress. Okay? My dad, I asked him, when was the best time of his life? And he said it was when he was a kid. Now, he grew up in Shady Cove Trail. And I said, Dad, you guys were dirt poor. How can that be the best time of your life? And he goes, we didn't know we were dirt poor. We didn't know it. That was the best time of his life. If you could go with me for a second, think in your mind, when is the best time of your life? If you think, when is it? For me, believe it or not, because some of you know what's going through today. For me, that time is right now. Right now is the best time in my life. Is it because I don't have stress or stress pressures or chaos or any of that thing? Nope. It is because I am focusing on the hope and the peace. So about 2.5 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I came home from work. They sent me home with a tummy ache. Not a manly thing. You go home with a tummy ache, and my wife, who said, look, you've got wonderful insurance. $10, go to the ER. Just take care of it if it hasn't gone away. So I borrowed $10 from her, went to the ER, and I still owe you that $10. Yeah. Went to the ER, and long story short here, about 2 hours later, the doctor comes in after some tests, CT tests and lab and all that other stuff, comes back and says, okay, we've went ahead and scheduled you a oncology appointment. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. I know what that word means. That's not a good word. And so you're meeting with an oncologist. And I said, so what is going on? So we went through all the discussion. About a week later, Lynn and I are sitting in with the doctor, and your life changes. Everything changes. Very stressful, right? Chaos, stress. It wasn't the easiest thing to have happen, but if you focus on it, I had a dream when I was getting ready for this devotional for the board, and the dream had a tornado that was going on. And the more I focused on that tornado, the more I was consumed, and the more the things around me were consumed. And the more I focused on what I really needed to focus on, because how many of us know tornado, it will do what it wants. But when I focused on the things that needed to be focused on, the tornado went away. It's still there, but was not consuming me. So this is actually the best season of my life. I have a wonderful family, a wonderful wife. During this time of cancer, I had friends that came from hundreds of miles away to come see me. We've had meals brought to us. We've had just everything going on. Old coaches, old teachers, friends, your family, yes. A new brother-in-law that I had never met. But all of those things were the good that came out of it. All of those things is what we focused on. Is Jorny Laughlin here? I plant dahlias now. I love dahlias. I've learned to garden. There have been so many things that have been positive out of this thing. I'm so thankful for all that has happened during that time. Now, cancer's still there. It's not going away. It's been 2.5 years. We were given, 6 months? Okay. I still do chemo every other week. Still do take medications, still have tough days. But God has given us the tools to not focus on that, to not choose the stress and the chaos. So in Isaiah 40:31, it says, but those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. Is my chemo working? I hope so. I hope so. I can't change it. I can't change what's going on. Am I going to stress about the chaos that comes with it? No, because it's not because I'm tough. But it's because of my hope in the Lord. With peace, You know, I still have that stress, chaos, anxiety in my life. We all do. We all do. And believe it or not, as tough as this could be, there are many people that I know of here in this body that are going through tougher situations. But I'm telling you today that we can choose to be thankful. We can choose to have peace. We can choose to have hope because of God. Am I thankful for the cancer? Are we thankful for financial stress, for marital problems, for health problems, financial problems? Nope. But we can classify out the stress and the chaos, and then we can see what God wants us to really focus on. Well, really focus on, okay? We choose hope, we choose peace, and we are thankful for all that. It creates an attitude of thankfulness, okay? Because my faith in God has given me hope, and that hope has given us peace in my life. Thanks.